Hey guys, Socket here with the next vid in the series of the soundproofing and SQ tune on my E92 335i. So today what I'm going to do is just take you through the equipment that make up the audio system in the car. Just to start with, the car is running a stock head unit. Well, actually it's running the NBT, which is an upgraded head unit on the E series, so it's an F series head unit. And I like to, that provides the master signal. You can play CDs and radio and other stuff on it, but I'm also using this Hi-Fi Walker high definition digital player, which can transmit lossless Bluetooth high definition music back to the receiver, which is in the DSP, which we'll talk about in a minute. So that's the audio sources. The brains of the whole operation here in the boot is a Helix V8 DSP. You can see the aerial there at the bottom, which is the Bluetooth expansion card, and running the sub is a Helix M1 monoblock, and the sub in this case is a Focal 33KX 13-inch in a custom sub box. So that's the back end and the electronics of the system. So back to the front, just to talk about the speakers. So basically what we have in the front is a set of Utopia BE number 7s, starting with which is basically a three-way active setup, and then in the back I've got a running passive critical mass setup, but I'll show you those in a moment. So the tweeter is the Focal TBE 42mm tweeter. The mids are the Focal 3W2BEs. They're a 3-inch mid, and then the sub bass, the mid bass, is a Focal 6W3BE 6.5-inch in custom door pods. So that's the active three-way system. Like, the speakers are probably not in the ideal location. The tweeters and the mids are in basically the stock locations for the E92, and the mid bass probably could have gone into the kicks, but I utilised basically an unused part of the mat pocket there and put the pods in there instead. And I really don't want to spend a lot of money moving the mid bass down into the kicks, so I'm just going to have to sort of live with what I've got. The rear speakers are, as I said, passive set, because we run out of channels on the V8 to run them in active. But basically they're a set of critical mass CM45 4As, which is a 1-inch tweeter and a 4.5-inch mid. So these critical mass are pretty good quality speaker from the USA. Not many of them around, but yeah, they sound pretty good. So, but in this case, they were in the front of the car. They've been relegated now to the backs, and they're really there just to provide some backfill. So that is the current audio setup in the car. I think we might have something playing, so we might just turn it on and see how she sounds. This is, of course, without a tune or anything, just with some basic time alignment and some basic crossovers put in. So okay, so that's it for this video. I will catch you on the next one. Hi guys, Socket back again. I'm going to talk about the how the approach I'm going to take to sound deadening the car. So the whole idea is no point, putting in really nice speakers and things if the quality of sound is going to be drowned out by all the road noise and engine noise and rattles and creaks in the car. So so sound deadening is a must. I'm going to tackle it in several ways. We're going to have a look at some of the materials and how we apply them, but in short, we're going to sort of tackle this in several bits. The first one is going to be really the boot area. So you need to pull out all the trim to get back to the metal. And if I pull out the card there, right, so we'll pull out all of this lining, and in here, give it a good clean up, pull all the speakers and everything out, and then apply the sound deadener. So that'll be step one. Rip out all this trim all over the boot and sound deaden all of that as well. And even in under here, where you've got your parcel shelf, once again going to sound deaden all of that. Now, how much do you need, and how much do you need to sort of cover? Well, that's a good question. I think it's how much you need is a simple matter of just measuring length by width and doing a quick calculation. Roughly what you need. Some people say you need to cover every single square inch. I'd probably do that if this was a competition car. I think the flat areas, like this, once the trim's out of the way, that'd probably want to cover that. But these strong areas here, they're not going to rattle too much, so you can probably avoid that. But in competition cars, they're probably going to do every inch of the metal. But if you're on a budget, cover up as much as you can without sort of going over the top. So section one will probably be this this boot area. The next section that I'm going to work on at least will be the floor pan. So all of this needs to come out of the car, the seats and the carpets and the consoles and everything. Strip it right back to bare metal, give it a good clean up, and then we will apply the sound deadening to that. Then I'm probably going to get rid of the headliner, soundproof that, and then finally the door cards in the front and in the rear. So I'm going to break this up into sections, and I will do a little video on each of them. So we'll see you in the next video.